with the current situation in Armenia, especially Artsakh.
Yeah.
In your opinion, with your teachings, why is cultural heritage so important,
Hmm.
especially for this region with what's happening?
Well, I think, especially in the Armenian community globally, we've become really aware of cultural heritage and how fragile it is during the war and since the war. And we're very aware of the threats to cultural heritage as a result of war, as a result of discrimination, as a result of racial hatred. And unfortunately, this is a global phenomenon. It's not just a phenomenon limited to the Armenian cultural heritage of Artsakh. And it's important to see how this fits in this global phenomenon where we see cultural heritage under attack in so many places, under cover of war, or even in peacetime. So, one of my missions in my teaching is to always show my students that cultural heritage, that art and architecture from the past are an incredible resource that we have in the present, but they're very fragile. And so we all have to be activists in their preservation and understanding and transmitting it to the future, not just in this. We should do this not only for the cultural heritage that we feel close to,
Of
that we
course.
feel an affiliation with, but we should take a more inclusive and global approach to cultural heritage. And I think what the situation in Artsakh shows very clearly is that cultural heritage can become really politicized,
Hmm.
and it becomes instrumentalized by various groups, and that can be a very dangerous situation.
Money, lobbying power.
Money, lobbying
Yeah.
power, the powerful interests.
Hmm.
But so it's one of those examples where you have a very, very difficult situation. And for me, coming from, I mean, being somebody who has spent a lot of time studying Syria and having witnessed the failures of the international community in
Yeah.
preserving human rights in Syria in general and in preserving cultural heritage in Syria, it's very sobering to think about what is happening in Artsakh and what dangers loom ahead. So I think it's a very positive thing that so many people are now aware of the importance of cultural heritage and the dangers of culture that loom over cultural heritage in times of conflict and as a
Hmm.
result of ethnic hatred.
Hmm.
But I think that our work as activists is only beginning, in that now we have to find ways to preserve that cultural heritage for all, and find out all means, figure out how we can do that and how we can uh, build peace. And it's very difficult to do
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you need powerful forces to align with this goal in order to advance this agenda.
Absolutely, you do. You need Yeah. you need some backing, especially with dealing with our current Now, situation. have you worked with UNESCO as far Yeah. as with the
I
Artsakh
have
situation?
I have not worked with them directly, but I've followed what they say very closely,
Mm.
and I also followed statements by other groups within the United Nations and International Cultural Heritage. And the difficulty of the situation in Artsakh and also many other places is that in the way in which the international political system, the international cultural heritage is set up, is that states have a lot of power. And it's usually states that are responsible for the upkeep of cultural heritage that falls on their territory.
Mhm. I
So
see.
if a state, um, uh, in this case, Azerbaijan, considers Armenian cultural heritage in Artsakh to be on its territory, and UNESCO has applied to, UNESCO can't just show up and say, we're going to we want to organize a fact-finding mission. They can only operate with the consent of the state where the cultural heritage is located.
Wow.
So if a state is unwilling or unable for whatever reason, then
So
the